Hello people of the internet, welcome. I am KICdude, and today I have a little bit of a spicy topic, and it's a little bit more of a ranty topic, because it happened to me a long time ago, and I kind of didn't want to talk about it, but at the same time, more and more things have been leading up to basically what amounts to a feminist excursion, and I would like to put my 2 cents down, basically, and I know it doesn't mean much, but because I know I have a personal story attached to this, I think it holds, credence for me to explain what I believe feminism is and how it works, and what I believe old feminism is and new feminism. Because let's be honest, new feminism sucks, old feminism is pretty cool. Now, what do I mean by feminism in general? What I believe feminism is, and I really am a feminist, where if I am a musician, I believe that my female musician counterpart should have the same rights that I do. I don't believe that just because I'm a dude that she deserves any less money than I do. No part of the artist's job description does it say that you have to be a man to make the best music. No, it doesn't mean nothing says that. But in some cases, in some places back way when, there was this, and this was a stigma, and it was stigmatized to the point where if you had a woman in any type of work situation, you looked like a fool, and you were treated as such, which is a weird thing to think about. Now, old feminism is great. Old feminism basically is, breaking up a jar with a bunch of pennies, or, going and, slowly but surely breaking the camel's back, like that kind of thing. We're gonna put pressure on them, and eventually they will break down. New feminism is basically you took the sledgehammer and beat the camel to death. There was no subtlety. There is no subtlety with current feminism. It's literally take to the streets or do nothing. That being said, I do like the gusto of go big or go home, but you're doing it in the wrong part of your movement. Because right now, what current feminism is doing, and I looked at it and I really researched this, that if you really look at current feminism, and this is like current feminism to the extreme portions, and feminism in that sense, it's turning into a fascist movement. And if anything, I don't like that, It's the same way that I encourage a good poop, but I don't like diarrhea. That's the thing I'm looking at. And the closer and closer we get to what I believe to be just the breaking point of feminism, is the closer and closer we get to the diarrhea movement of this feminism thing. Because let's be honest, I like a good poop, but I don't like diarrhea. It's not that I'm bitter about it, it's just that it's just not healthy. Because old feminism was cool, in the sense that they literally were the ones moving things around. They were the ones that were like, no, we're not going to move from this parlor, or not going to let up this argument until you actually do something about it, Mr. Mayor. It's not, I'm going to go and yell at every single small dude that has no power or position to prove a point. Okay, you move your stuff, you move your heart, you move what you want to happen with your vote in this country, in the United States. It's not, oh, I'm going to go yell at every guy because they're wrong. No, it's, you have to move this country with your vote. If you do any type of research, if you look at any type of video, I believe it was Adam Ruins Anything, that proves that feminism, in the right juncture, in the right way they do things, it proves to be fruitful. Okay, it does prove to be fruitful. The thing is, ever since back way when, guys were used as tools. Now that you have no tools because guys don't want to be manipulated, no one wants to be manipulated, you feel like you don't really have a grasp on things. And that's not really true. Like I said, you move it with your vote. You don't move it with guys anymore. You have your own freaking voice now. Back in the 1950s, 1850s, women really didn't have a say on what was going on. But now, you have a voice. You don't have to worry, you don't have to try to, it's not about guys relentlessly messing up women. It's women that don't want to push the legislature. Or you pushing men to the point of being like, no, I don't think we should do that. Because what you presented didn't even have any cohesive facts or cohesive arguments. The current feminists and current feminism is when we try to prove a point, or men try to prove a point, and we interrupt a woman because we want to prove the point that you're wrong, or prove a point that, hey, listen, it's not the way it seems for you. You call it mansplaining, it's stupid. That's a dumb logic to have, to think that you're always right, because guess what? No one's always right. You can go to the ends of the earth. You will find people that think that they're always right. And no one is always right. Unless you're God himself, you're never always right. So understandably, there are going to be people who have differences in opinion or even differences in the stats they have viewed. Like, for example, there are stats that are released almost on a daily basis about everything. And if there are stats that you have that are different and you took like maybe, I don't know, like 3 years ago, and you took stats from like 3 years ago and you compare them to stats today, of course they're going to be different. So sure, yeah, let's see this guy that has the right, the current stats, and you have the stats from 3 years ago. Of course he's more correct than you. Stop trying to correct him or invalidating his argument by saying that he's mansplaining, because guess what? Who's wrong here? Guess who's wrong here? It's the woman in that situation. Okay? Another thing that women have, or what feminists have, is assuming that because they're going and applying to the same position as a man is, that they're automatically qualified to do the job and position. Let's say, for sake of example, I run a construction company, and I was about to hire new hires. I was going to get new hires, and I have a woman and a man in front of me. And I'm not going to be looking to see who is a woman or a man. I'm looking to see who's more qualified. So in this sense, guess what? I'm looking to see if the woman can lift 50 to 100 pounds at a time and is able to work night, weekends, and do overtime. And most of the time, women are not doing that. Women do not like to take overtime. Women don't like to do that stuff. There are some women that do, but statistically, women don't like doing overtime. Women don't try to take risks with their job, so they're not going to be taking the construction job, and they're not going to be doing that. So I'm going to be paying, the man. I'm going to be giving the man the job. If I say, okay, so you are going to be are you able to work nights, weekends, holidays, and all these days, because we have, a lot of stuff to do, and you say, no, I can't work holidays, but, you should still hire, I can't work any of the days that you want me on my off days, but you should still totally hire me because I'm a female. No, that doesn't work that way. You're not qualified for the position. Get out. And now, same way on the other side. If the guy has also been like, no, you see, I do these things on these days. No, I'm not going to hire you. I'm not going to hire you. It's just that simple. You're not going to be hired because you are not qualified for the position. Now, the same way on the other side, because this is a thing that feminists 100% clearly don't understand, is that the court system 100% favors women. Even if the female is a frothing schizophrenic that hits their children, the man is held accountable for all the actions, even if it's the woman who started the argument. If there's a domestic dispute between a spouse and between spouses, and there are children in between, even if the woman beats their children, they are still have complete custody until proven that they are unfit to have custody. Okay? Let me just throw that out there before I go to my next segment about babysitting, where if I go there and it's been stigmatized that men can't take care of kids. Guess what? You know what? Those are not correct. There are plenty of adult men who would like to have a job in babysitting, but because of the stigmatization and the improper viewing of men not being able to properly take care of children, it's seen as, well, you can't do it. So now, guess what? If you go to any type of website or any type of thing, if I run a daycare and I see two people in front of me, the same way as the other example I gave, a female and a male, and they both are in front of me and they're like, hey, I want a position in this job, and I'm going to be like, okay, can you take care of kids? How many kids have you taken care of? In your experience of taking kids, what would you do in position A, B, and C? I'm going to be asking questions and see if they're qualified. I'm not going to be looking at their gender. But somehow, in some way, corporations and businesses have seen it to where men get picked over women in construction jobs, and women get picked over men in daycare jobs and nursing jobs and psychiatric help and all this other stuff and dental assistants and all that. The list goes on and on and on. You know why? Because it's not about feminists and feminism. It's about appearance. And this is something that is ingrained into the psyche of America itself, that ever since way back when, women should not be working construction jobs. Well, this is not true anymore. There are definitely women who can take care of themselves way better than men, and there's definitely men who can take care of kids better than their female counterparts. Now, this is a major problem, and by no means do I believe that this is the end of the conversation. Heck, I had a conversation I wanted to share with you guys today. But for cause of time, I'm going to go ahead and let this be here. I would like to continue this conversation at a later time, maybe with more, subject matter. Maybe I'll have an experience from then, and I will explain the conversation that I had. If you guys do want me to continue talking about this kind of stuff, and please leave a comment, say yes, I would like more, or be like, no, dude, chill with the, with the political stuff. But if you like the discussion, love me, and love you back, because I will see you guys next time.